Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well today. We get to start with a Jay Dyer puzzle today, which is exciting. And at the end of stream today, we're going to do a live premiere of my playthrough of Lingo, which I have been really enjoying. So you can look forward to that. Hello, Jay. Also, while I was getting set up, we seem to have gotten a donation from Plonk Time. So let's get Plonk Time a donation dance. Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Boop 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 boop. Woohoo! Thank you, Plonk Time. Thank you. I greatly appreciate the donations, whichever platform they come from, and Ko-fi is one of the nicest for a lot of reasons. Alrighty, so let us start with Jay Dyer's puzzle. So this was part of a 39-way tie, believe it or not. The voters for this puzzle were David, Jay, Russ, David, Nell, and Luda. So let's have a look at the rules of Jay Dyer's puzzle. So Birefringence. Birefringence? I don't think I know this word. Of course, it's never helped by the fact that the Sudoku pad font is indecipherable. But I think no matter how I parse this, I don't think it's a word I know. Tris says it's birefringence. I don't. That does not help. Okay, so we have here a yin-yang puzzle. So we need to color each cell in the grid in one of two colors, such that each color forms a single orthogonally connected set and no 2x2 area is entirely in one color. Okay, so usual yin-yang rules. It's like refrigerants, but more. I see. It's like twice as much refrigerants. In a cage, digits may not repeat, and both colors of cells sum to the same value. Each cage has a different value for n. Ooh, I like that. That's a nice twist on this. Okay, so I think the... Oh, not quite. I was going to say we're going to start with the fact that there has to be a break in here, but there does not have to be a break in here necessarily. I suppose I should reveal... first off, the two secrets of yin-yang. So yin-yang is really sort of a 4-rule genre where you only state 2 of the rules, and everyone just agrees that this is okay. Namely, one of the third rule is that you can't ever split up the border colors. So something like this you can't do. And the reason why you can't do it is because you have to connect all the purples to all the purples and all the yellows to all the yellows. And you just can't do that without separating one of the colors. So for example, here I've connected purples, and in so doing, I've made it impossible to connect the yellows. Usually, not always, but usually the break into yin-yang puzzles is to identify where the 2 breaks along the border are in color. And then you know that everything else is monochromatic. The other... this one definitely has a break in it. Sorry, this one definitely has a break in it because that's only 1 digit. This one doesn't have to have a break in it. I thought these were the same shape, and I was about to say something about that. Anyway, sorry, I will not get too distracted. We both know that's a lie. The other thing is you can never have a checkerboard inside your arrangement. And the reason for that is because if you try and put a checkerboard in, you run into the same kind of issue, albeit it's slightly fancier, which is that if I connect the yellow to the yellow around the corners of a checkerboard, then it becomes impossible to connect the purple to the purple and vice versa. There are a few different pencil puzzle genres that have no checkerboard rules, so if it sounds familiar, you might also have seen it in things like Cave and Coral, and so that shows up. Isaiah mentions, if you do yin-yang on a torus, then that will definitely do it. All right, so my first observation is that somewhere in here, there has to be a break, because if all of these are the same color, then this cell sums to at least 15. So that's not going to work. So that's one of my breaks. I just have sort of one of those is a break. So we've got that one. I'm looking for things where I can take advantage of the fact that, for example, the sum of a cage is always even, but I don't think that's super useful. If there's not a break in here, then this is 15, 16, or 17, with these cells being huge. But I don't immediately see a problem with that. Let's see. Emma points out there are 13 total cages, so we need 13 total values. So that is a good thing to know. I'm looking at these two 3-cell cages, and obviously it has to be 2 and 1, but I don't think I learn a lot out of the fact that it has to be 2 and 1 that I can sort of immediately use to my advantage. Let's see. Of course, if there's not a break through this, then we get that this is a 6, 7, 8, or 9. And ditto up here, this would be a 6, 7, 8, or 9. If there's not a break through here, actually, so if I actually said there's no break all the way through here, actually that's 2, 6, 7, 8, 9s. And then if there's, and up here, if there's not a break, that would be 2, 6, 7, 8, 9s. So if I sort of continue all the way through here without breaking, so if there's no break here and there's no break here, then I'll have my 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple in box totals. Now, the 3-cell cages don't need to have huge totals. They could have like 3, 2, 1, for example, would be perfectly fine. So we use at least 2, regardless of this. We use at least 2. Actually, I guess at least 3 of 6, 7, and 8, and 9, right? Because there can only be a break in at most one of these, right? So we've got that. We've got that going on. Mixo says that wouldn't work because they'd both need to sum to 15, but they are 5 plus 1 cells each. Would they have to sum to 15? Okay, right. So basically what Mixo is saying is it's impossible. I did not quite read Mixo's words correctly. What Mixo is saying is these can't possibly sum to 15. They definitely sum to more than 15 because it's, as Mixo says, 5 plus 1 cells. So actually, if there were no break in here, these would both be from 7, 8, 9. And if there were no break in here, these would both be from 7, 8, 9. And so therefore, there's a break in one of them. And so therefore, we can mark that there is no break anywhere else. So these are all the same color, whatever color that is. These are the same color, and these are the same color. And actually, I can extend this. And by the way, yellow is not a color. Yellow is just a marker that these things are the same color, whatever that color is. And red is a marker that there's definitely a break in here. Okay, and so therefore, these we know are 6, 7, 8, 9. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And definitely contain a 1, 2, and 3. So this is the one where there's a break because we need a 1, 2, and 3 in here, or this sums to too much. And so therefore these two cells already sum to at least 9. So I actually have to have my other break in here. So I have a break in these cells, and that's my other break. And so we can fill in the rest of that. That is very clever. So that's because, again, if I don't use 1, 2, and 3, then this would sum to at least 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. but that's 18, and these two cells can't possibly sum to 18. Okay, so we've got a break in here. So this is certainly a 7, 8, 9. This is the other 7, 8, 9, but we do know one of these is a 9, because otherwise they sum to 15, and that breaks Mixo's point. So this is not a 9. This is only a 7 or an 8. So there is definitely a 1 in here. Oh, this could be 6, though, right? Mixo's right. This could be 6, but it can't be 9 because of the previous note. Yeah, this can be 6. I agree. Thank you for catching that. Okay, and so if we want, we can go ahead and make these all purple and these all yellow and begin the coloring shenanigans. Okay, and so now all of these colors around the outside are redundant. So that is definitely purple. That's purple. These are both purple. So that's yellow and that's purple. And now to avoid a 2x2, or sorry, to avoid a checkerboard, that needs to be purple. Okay. Oh, this is yellow because of the cage, right? Because this is the sum of those. This is also purple by the cage. I agree. Now, I actually know this cell has to be purple, because if this was yellow, all of these would be yellow, and I'd be saying that this cell is equal to a sum of 4 yellows. So in fact, that cell's purple. And for the same reason, this cell is yellow, because if it was purple, I'd be saying... Oh, wait, sorry, no, that's not true. Sorry, that's not true. That's not how math works. Because I was forgetting that there's an extra digit. Never mind. Let's see. I certainly know there has to be... this cell is yellow because I need at least 2 yellow cells in this cage, and I can't make both of these yellow. So this cell's always yellow. If I make both of these yellow, I create a 2x2, which is one of the 2 written rules of yin-yang. So we can have that. But this can't be a 1-4 split. A 1-4 split is not going to work. There have to be at least 2 yellow cells, so that one is definitely yellow, which feels like a very deliberate choice. However, it does not seem to get me anything that I am able to immediately tell. Let's see. I wonder if I can repeat that elsewhere. Or if I have to think more about what's going on here. So there's definitely a 1 in these cells because these sum to 6, 7, or 8. So there's not a 1 in any of these. In fact, actually, if I look at all of these together, these sum to at least 21. Minus a maximum of 8 is 13. So these sum to a minimum of 13, which is not quite enough to tell me anything, but it almost is. I bet that's going to be a step once I know one more piece of information. That's true. This digit is definitely 1 or 2 because these sum to 16 or 17. Sorry, these sum to 15 or 16, and so therefore I can only add 1 or 2 to this up here. That's a good point from Eckbert, that if I ask where 7, 8, and 9 go in this row, I don't have many spaces for them. Oh, right. These again sum to 15 or 16, so they definitely contain a 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so this digit is only a 6 or 7. oops. So the 8, 9 that goes in here, okay, there's only one 8, 9 in here, because if there were two 8, 9s in these cells, then I couldn't put them in row 9. So that tells me this total is not 17. So I can knock the 7s out of these. So there's only one 8, 9 in here, and that 8, 9 definitely goes there. So this could be 6 plus 9 or 7 plus 9. So these only sum to 15 or 16. So that is an 8, 9. And so now David asks where's 7 in row 9. And so the 7 in row 9 is definitely down here now, because I can't put it over in any of those. So there is a 6 up here, and the 6 only goes with a 9. So therefore, these are a 6, 9, which actually gives us a digit, which gives us that this digit is a 5. And we'll bring out Zach for the 5 dance. Boop, boop, boop. Woo! Ba-doop, ba-doop. Wah! Ba-doop, ba-doop. Wee! Ba-doop, 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 ba-doop. Wah-ha! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. I should say, by the way, Big Z has been working off camera on getting over his fear of the 5 dance. So you might get to see Big Z do a 5 dance at some point. Okay, so these are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 combination, and so the 6 assuredly isn't in this cage. So the 6 is in this cage, which means it can only go with a 1 and a 2, which makes this a 9, which makes this an 8, because oh, sorry, it doesn't make that an 8 automatically. Sorry, these are 3, 4. Sorry, this could still be a 7 or an 8. Sorry, I was thinking I was going to repeat 15, but that doesn't make sense for several reasons. Oh, it could be 1, 2, 6 in the corner, couldn't it? I was convinced that was going to make it sum to too much. Anyway, these are 7, 8, and that's a 9 by our previous work. You can't do 1, 6 plus 1. 1, 6 plus 1 is not a valid killer cage. Oh, the sum is, okay, sorry. So yeah, so the sum of these digits, this is a smarter way to do this. The sum of these digits is 16 plus, that's got to be a 1. We are summing to 17 for whatever that is worth. Yeah, we can definitely get rid of the corner marks. That is true. Probably make life better. We know that by Sudoku, the 6 in this box goes down here. So I know neither of those are 6 just by looking over across with my 6, 9 pair. So either this is 6 or the 6 is over here. So there's definitely a 1 down here. And so now that 1 looks across here, making that a 1. Oh, that's horrible, Mixo. I don't know if I'm going to use that. It's like right on the edge of what I'm comfortable with. Like it's a gross look ahead, but it's not like it disgusts me, but not viscerally. Let's see. The rest of column 1, yeah, the rest of column 1 is big. So yeah, so these are the 6, 7, 8, 9 for the rest of the column. Okay. And now that's all of the 6, 7, 8, 9 for this box. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that tells me this cell's certainly purple. Because if this cell is yellow, then I have to make 2, 6, 7, 8, 9s add to the same thing as 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s, which is not going to work out well. So can do that. Let's see. Oh, these are 2, 3, 4, points out Todd. That is good. Let's see. We're almost, but not quite to the point where this can't be 1 and 3, I think. If this is yellow, then of course this is a very high purple. Oh, this isn't 1 by corner marks, right? Because there's corner marks looking at it. So if this is purple, this is 6, 1, 2, 9. And I'm being told that won't work by Josh. 6, 1, 2, 9. What does it break? Oh, we already have a cage of total 9. Right. We already used the 9, right. Good. Oh, and so in particular, this isn't 8 either, is maybe an easier thing to note, because we've definitely used the total 8 as well. And so there are, in fact, a 1 and a 2 in here, and they're only from 1, 2, 3, 4, if we're going to do this thing where we read the rules of the puzzle. So this isn't 2 either. That is true. If this was 8 or 9, then it would make the total of this cage have to be 8 or 9. Note, it wouldn't mean that it had to be a yellow and 2 purples. It could be that it was 2 yellows and a purple, but it would still repeat 8 or 9. That's a great spot, Pink Maple. So that's a 6, 7 pair. So these aren't 6 or 7. So this is a purple, speaking of rules. Yeah, 3-cell cage always adds to 1 digit, right? And now that digit is our last 6, 7, right? So actually, I think this has to be purple now, because we've got a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple in these cells. So what this cage has to total to that number, because we have cages that total to the other 3. So therefore, if this cage has to total to this total, that cell has to be purple, which is very cute. Emma claims that's not right, but I think it's right. So this is assuredly from 1, 2, 3, something. Because 6 is greater than 5. Jay Dyer is making the step less cool by attempting to tell me facts about positive integers that I'm not sure I understand. I really liked the argument I gave, but there are apparently other arguments that work. Okay. So I guess these two differ by at most 2, which is exactly enough to tell me nothing at all. This cell assuredly can't be larger than 6 at the very least. So if I'm looking for digits in this column, I've got 5 digits that are at most 6. Oh, they differ by exactly one. Sorry, I did that math wrong in my head. They differ by exactly one, so this isn't one at least. Okay, now in here, we've got a bunch of high digits now. Because we only get one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's not 1 or 2. So at very best, these sum to 3, 6, 7, which is 16. And so it just barely works if that cell is purple. That's annoying. Because of that 6, 7. Oh, right. These digits we know are, David points out, 5, 6, 7. So they have an odd sum. So these two are different parities. We do know there's an 8 up here, although it could still go there. Oh, right. This cage's total is now tiny, points out Josh, because it can't be larger than 5. So these are all from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I agree with that. Oh, I guess what we can do with the fact that these are from 2, 3, 4, and 8 is note that this isn't 3. So one of these is 3, which is silly, but we can do it. Okay, so row 9, column 5. Yeah, right. There's no 3 down here anymore, so these are now from 1, 2, 4. So therefore, this digit isn't 2 or 4, because if it was, the total of this cage would be 7, and it's not. So this is either a 6 with a 1, 2, or a 3 with a 1, 4. Okay, so this has 1, 2, 4 in it. It's maybe not exciting. I probably can do some math with this 1 glaring at this column, but I'm going to try and avoid that if I can. Let's see. And I do know the title here is certainly 3 or 4 or 5. Don't I need the 8 in the box 8 cage? So Pink Maple is claiming that if I make these both 2, 3, 4, it never works because I need something that's sort of by Mixo sort of earlier math. I need something that sort of splits these two up because one of these is getting 2 of 5, 6, 7, and the other, if the other only gets a 2, 3, 4, it's never going to be high enough. So a 2, 3, 4 plus a 5, 6, 7 is at most 11. 2 5, 6, 7s plus something else is at least 12. Okay, so I agree. We need the 8. Good spot to Pink Maple. That's the only place I was supposed to take the 8 out of. I don't know what you're saying there, Emma. I suspect you're trying to do the math more efficiently than I did, which is probably true. Oh, right. And this is a 3-8 pair because we said, right, it's not even a 3-8 pair by parity. It's just a 3-8 pair because what we actually said was there's a 3 in these and there's an 8 in these. And so they are not 2 or 4. Yeah, I just proved one of them was 8 and then did not use it well. Hey, Dorlier, how are you doing? Uh, okay. This is yellow. That's also yellow. Wait, is that true? No, maybe not. Sorry. Uh, oh, now the sum of the cage is 29. Well, that's bad. Did we break it? Yeah, we broke it somehow. Because this doesn't have an even sum, right? This has an odd sum. How did we screw this up? Yeah, so everything we did back to the thing with the 3 was wrong. Because I said these have an odd sum, but they don't. They have an even sum, so therefore these two are the same parity, and therefore, in particular, uh, 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 I don't think this is a recently discovered thing, Dorlier. Uh, I think the property that you're alluding to is the property that I gave my Sudoku-kan talk about, and I think it's been known since time immemorial. It may have appeared in some of the ancient Greek treatises on yin-yang puzzles. Uh, okay, so yeah, so they don't contain a 3. Okay, but if we now redo the math here still of uh, if we tried to make this only a 2-4 pair, I think it's still not going to work. And so, ergo, let's just double check the math again. We could do 7 plus 4 is 11, but then 5 plus 6 plus something is still bigger than 11. So I do still need the 8 in one of these. That was true. So this is not the 8. Can I possibly put the 8 with a 5, 6, 7? So if I did 8, 5, that already sums to 13. That seems too big. What are the possible sums of this cage, I guess, is what I'm really getting at. The possible sums of this cage are, let's do it correctly this time. 18 plus 8 is 26. So half of that is 13 plus 1 or 2. So the possible sums of this cage are 14 or 15. So I guess oh, there's definitely an 8 with a 5, 6, 7. There's no way to avoid an 8 with a 5, 6, 7. That was that was silly. Oh, we already have 15. We have a 15 cage. Good point. Good point. So yeah, so the 5, 6, 7 is 18. So therefore I can't make these a 4, 8, or I'll make the total 15, which would repeat. So these are a 2, 8. No 2 in any of those places. Okay. So now, so now this cage has to be the 8 cage. Oh, I understand, Dorlier. I'm just not using. I'm not using a subject of a talk. I'm not using math theorems to do my Sudoku puzzle, unless I absolutely have to. But I definitely don't absolutely have to. This can never be a 6, is the point. Because if this were a 6, these would sum to at least 4. So therefore, the 6 is over here, and it has to go with a 2. And so therefore, that's a 9, and that's an 8. I think is a smooth way to do that doesn't involve sort of pre-arguing that there's only one way to split these. Uh, uh, okay, so there's no 2 here, of course. Sorry, no 2 there. Let's see. To be clear, I think all the yin-yang stuff is super cool, and I think it's why yin-yang is fundamentally broken as a genre, is because the math of it is so cool that there's a lot of conclusions that you can get that are really neat. Like, I think the math of it is awesome, but then it means that when you're setting it, you either have to make deductions based on people having seen these crazy parity things, or take as given all of these various parity rules, or ignore them, and then if you ignore them, then your puzzle breaks constantly because as the setter, you're not taking them into account, even though they have to be true. Now, I will say, as Sudoku enthusiast, I think I'm blowing out the mic. I'm going to lower the sensitivity here for a second. Let's see. Let me know if I overdid it, but I think that's probably a little better because I'm just talking too loud, apparently, for the microphone. One thing I will say is that we're very fortunate that Sudoku's 9x9 and not 10x10, because the number of crazy parity deductions you get in an even by even grid is way higher than the number you get in an odd by odd grid. So for example, in an even by even grid, these 2 cells, these 2 cells, these 2 cells, and so on are always the same color. You get this weird pairing around the edge, sort of all the way around the puzzle, that is very difficult to articulate. I mean, it's not like very difficult is overselling it. It's something no one is going to find without digging into it. Let's see. Oh, I see. Eckbert is telling me in a roundabout way that there's an 8-9 pair in column 1, and therefore this cell in fact sees that 6-7 by the cage and this 6-7 by the box, so it's not 6. And so therefore we actually have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuple, and so therefore these are 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so these are a 7, 8, and a 6, 9 for whatever it is worth. That was a good spot to Eckbert there. We've still got one more 6, 7, 8, 9 in here for what it's worth. Yeah, so... Oh, I guess I already knew this cage is definitely a 2-2 split. Because if it was a 1-3 split, it would be a total that we've already used. One of these is definitely 1, points out Screaming Ice Cube, just by Sudoku in the column. And so if one of these is definitely 1, the other one is not 2 or 3 or 4. And so, in fact, actually, the only total we can get is 1, 5, which is 6. Oops. Very nice, very nice. So that's not a 5 either. And that's not a 5 either. This is a 6, and that's a 7. And that's a 7. So these are 1, 2, 4. And that's a 3. This is not a 3. These aren't 7. That's not a, oh, that has become an 8 and a 7. Okay, there is a 6 or a 9 in this cage. Yeah, these are now big. Oh, yeah, these are now from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, just because of this triple. So these now sum to at least 18, and ergo I can't make this purple, or indeed I can't make anything else in this cage purple, because if I make anything else in this cage purple, then now I need 2 cells in yellow to sum to 18, or I should say at most 2 cells in yellow to sum to 18. So all of these are yellow, which gives me that that's purple and that's yellow. That's yellow to avoid a checkerboard. Yeah. Okay, now I think all the tension goes out as soon as you say this is 3-3. There was only tension if this was, I think there was only tension if this was a 2-4 cage, and now that's just become impossible. I do know one of these is 5 for the box. I don't think that's exciting. I think the colors can be separated in a cage. I mean, they better be able to, or this is going to be a big problem. Because I'm going to need some more purple in here, I think. Or I'm going to have 1 digit equals the sum of 5. Smart spot to Screaming Ice Cube, which is that I can't, for example, make these 7, 8, 9. Because if I make these 7, 8, 9, then that means that the sum is 24, but now I need to make these sum to 24, but then they definitely also sum to 7, 8, 9. And so, in fact, actually, if you want to think about this holistically, these are 6 different digits. The most 6 different digits can sum to is 39. But in fact, in this case, it's 38 because it's an even total. And so the total here can't be more than 19. And 19 is going to require the 5 and the 6 and no 9. Because 5 plus 6 plus 7 is 18. And 5 plus 6 plus 8 is 19, which is the max. So it's either 5 plus 6 plus 7 or 5 plus 6 plus 8. So this is not a 5 or a 6. Well, yeah, I was just trying to argue I was trying to motivate why you would ask the question that Screaming Ice Cube asked, not trying to rule out 7, 8, 9 specifically. I was trying to say, like, why would you ask this question in the first place? Because it was quite potent, but you needed to actually ask the question before it was useful. Let's see. Yeah, these are 1, 2, 4, 5, and I think I don't know a whole lot about how the 1, 2, 4, 5. I mean, I guess I know that these are a 1, 2, and a 4, 5, but that's all I really know. Let's see, the kind of setting up a Zackwing here, maybe possibly someday. Let's see, Dorlier is looking at saying these two are the same color. I don't think that's true, though. Column 7 or 2 column 3 can't be too high. Five plus 6 plus 8 would make the remaining cells in the cage the other digits. I think I know this cage has a 9 in it. If I want to really sort of tax this to the maximum, because we're talking about 39 is the maximum that this 6-cell cage can sum to, and that's if it's 4 through 9, and 4 plus 7 plus 8 breaks the top row, David. So anyway, so the maximum is 39 if we use all of the digits from 4 through 9. So we have 3 degrees of freedom potentially. And if we use our 3 degrees of freedom, we still can't break that there's got to be a 7, an 8, and a 9 in this cage. So in particular, maybe the most interesting of those is to say that there's a 9 in the cage because it's not up there. So there's definitely a 9, and then some combination of digits to add to either 14 or, either 18 or 19, I think were the combinations. Yeah, so that would be one example for that Jim gives, is that you could do 5, 6, 8, 3, 7, 9. You can think about it as the outie sum if you want. That the outies are going to sum to either 7 or 9. Okay. This has been a super nice puzzle so far, by the way, Jay. Let's see. So I know that I know at least one of these cells is yellow. But I don't think anything is really horrible. Yeah, you can put some pretty low digits. Like, you might not be able to get a 1 in there, but that doesn't feel incredibly restrictive. Let's see. Should I attempt a sudoku? Sounds dangerous. If there is an 8 in here, then it goes there, but otherwise the 8 is up here. Can I do 8 and 9 and 5, 6, 7? Yes, I can do 8, 9, and 1 and 5, 6, 7, and that works. I was hoping I could prove the 8 in this cage, because this cage definitely has an 8 and it definitely has a 7. So yeah, so I guess, yeah, it's got a 7 and it's got an 8. And so if I put an 8 here, then it's going to sum to 18 if I make it 8, 9, and 1 with a 5, 6, and 7, which also sums to 18. So sadly, I wasn't really asking it, but you can also put a 1 in here, sadly. Yeah, I agree with 57 thorns. The other 7 or 8 is in here for sure. And then whatever you need to make it work with the other 7 or 8. Shall we explore? Maybe I'll now take Mixo's point about the corner here. So Mixo's point that Mixo made a very long time ago was, if this cell is purple, then it makes this cell yellow, which makes this cell purple, and therefore creates a checkerboard. And so therefore this cell isn't purple. So we will relent and use that and make the cells yellow. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but we can certainly use it. It may not, in fact, do anything. It's not so bad once you've got so much filled in around it. It's a pretty natural thing, especially since it's pretty natural to start asking like what the splits of this end up being. So I think it's a much more natural deduction to do when you've got sort of this much filled in already known. I generally don't like deductions where the whole proof is fill in an arbitrary thing and get a contradiction 2 steps later, which that definitely is. But I think here the universe of possibilities is so narrowed in that it becomes natural at this point to look at it. And so I guess we already knew this Yeah, I guess this doesn't even really have anything to do with this deduction, right? These aren't both yellow is all we really needed. So the actual deduction here, which doesn't have anything to do with that, the actual deduction is just, hey, the third cell is definitely purple. And so because otherwise we'd have a 2x2, or in this case, a 2x3 of yellow. And you definitely can't have a 2x3 of yellow. So one of these two is purple, and whichever one it is, those two purples sum to a minimum of 11. And so if I did 11 plus 8, that would make a 19, whereas that would obligate that this whole cage sum to 38, but 5 different digits can't sum to 38, so we actually know that's the 2 and that's the 8. Okay, and so now the 8 in this cage is placed there, which makes that a 9 and that an 8. Those sum to 12, and that's a 4. That's a 7. So now that's not a 2, that's not a 4. Okay, so I was looking for that. So now this sum is 19 with a 9, so we need 10 more. And if we're going to do 10 more, we can't do 1, 9, 2, 8, or 4, 6, so it's got to be 3, 7. And we know where the 7 goes, and these are a 3, 9 pair. And that 3, 9 looks down, making that a 4. 4 looks back up. The 3 also looks down at these, so these are from 1, 2, 5. That's not a 7. This has become a 2 somehow. So we've got that over there. Okay, so that all clicked. I had noticed before, if you're curious, why did I fill that in? I had noticed that if this cell was 8 in our where does the 8 go game, that it was going to force this entire cage earlier. So I'd basically been doing this in my head earlier. Okay, so now we know the total of this cage. So the total of this cage now is 18 plus 10 is 28. So the n is 14. And so the digit that goes with the 8 is the 6. And so that digit is not there. Okay. Oh, by the way, this 1, 3 pair has made that a 4. Oops. Which will, thank you for Pink Maple for noticing that. Okay, so that's not a 4 anymore. So that is a 4, owing to the 1, 2 pair or the 1 in row 1, whichever way you want to think about it. There's an 8 over here somewhere. There sure is. Let's see, there's an 8 down here somewhere. I'm just doing some quick look to see if there's any Sudoku things happening. Let's see. If this isn't 6, then that's 6. Oh, here's a dumb point. Where does the 7 in this column go? The 7 in this column goes there. What are these? 1, 2. Okay, these are 3 and 5, I want to say. It wouldn't have been a dumb point if I just filled in that there was a 3, 5, 7 in this row. It was a pretty silly point to randomly ask here. Okay. I'm being told this is not 1 or 2. Right. If this is 1 or 2, then this cage says that 1 plus 2 equals 5. That is a great spot that I probably would not have thought of, Todd. Very cute. Okay, so these could be a 1, 2 with a 3, as far as I can tell. Otherwise, that's the 1, 2. 7 in box 6 is just placed, points out Matt Laffey. So one of these two is 7. For the same reason this isn't 5, points out Emma, because if this is 5, this cage would be saying 5 is 1 plus 2, which it is not. Nor is this 4, right? If this is, oh no, it could be 4 if it's saying 4 plus 1 is 5. Sorry, this could be 4. So it's either saying 3 is 1 plus 2, or 4 is, or 5 is 1 plus 4. Those are my two options. So there's always a 1 in these cells, I guess is the piddly way of saying this. It's not the most impressive deduction I've ever made. Oh, sorry, it could be 5 is 2 plus 3. Sorry, it's even worse. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Okay. Yeah, 5 is 2 plus 3 is perfectly valid to Emma and Pink Maple. I just forgot about it. Yeah, 8 and 9 in this column have to live over here somewhere. I agree. If someone wants to fall on the sword of doing the math in this box for me, I will. I won't complain too much. Let's see. We've got 2, 2, 3, 4s over here. We know this cage is a 2-2 split. So, does that mean this cell's always purple? Might mean this cell's always purple, but I'm not 100% sure. 4 in box 3 is in the cage. It is. I guess whatever this digit is, we know it goes somewhere in the column like that. We don't know a lot about what this digit is, unfortunately. These aren't both yellow, so at least one of them is purple. If this is yellow, do we run into the same sort of issue as earlier? I don't think so. Row 4, column 9 isn't purple by ugly math. Wonderful. Let's see. I will believe Josh. I will. Let us. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't what I actually wanted. Oh, I see. There we go. We will. J the cell to mark that Josh has told us that it is yellow. So we have, as long as we give credit, it's all okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is 1, 2, 5, or 6. Somewhat regrettably. I'm trying to decide if I know something about the coloring of this, but I like 2 of these that have to be the same color or something, but I don't think I do. The math up here also seems a little bit weird. I guess the 4 in column 9 is bilocal, is not a very excellent. We can update. We can update the contents of this cell to DJ. Oops. To there we go. So we've got we've got most of our 7s, right? We've got 1 deadly pattern of 7s left over. I'm afraid it's not very interesting which of these is purple and which of these is yellow, as best I can see it. It's possible that there's a sudoku problem with one of them. Uh, yeah, expert points out now these are not both yellow and they aren't both purple. So these are actually different colors. So we can actually draw like a border on this. They're not both yellow because if these are both yellow, it makes these both purple. And now this cell looks at 3 yellows and 3 purples. So these are different colors. And therefore these two are different colors because we know this is a 2-2 split cage. That sure feels like it should be useful. It's a very clear and clean deduction from Eckbert, but I don't know if it's useful yet. But I like it a lot in any event. I feel like this puzzle was like dangerously close to being a 4-star puzzle until we got to about here, and now it has gotten trickier. None of these was a 4. We do have a 5-6 pair in this column of all things that I have not previously seen. This isn't a naked single, is it? Okay, so by Sven, it's not 4, 7, or 8. By the 5-6 pair, it's not 5 or 6. So this is, I guess, 1, 3, or 9 are the things that it can be. Or 2. How did I miss 2? I guess I either like accidentally hit 2 a second time, or I accidentally didn't hit 2 the first time. One of those things happened. I just never put it in. Okay, I just, when I attempted to hit every button, I did not successfully hit every button. Oh no. David has withdrawn his D from the cell. It is now a lone J sitting in the cell, standing against the storm or something. These cells I also know aren't both yellow and aren't both purple if I want to continue putting Eckbert marks around the grid. Because if these are both yellow, then this purple's disconnected. Because this purple we know can't connect through here. This purple always connects through up, and they can't both be purple because it would be a 2x2. So we can put another marker of that being, those being one of each. So there's a purple with a purple above it. Is there a yellow? No, there's not a yellow with a yellow above it, because if this is the purple one, then that's also purple. I don't think there's anything wrong with those both being purple off the top of my head. Is it a matter that I haven't thought hard enough about what the possible sums of 4-cell cages are? Like, am I supposed to be asking myself, like, a question about this cage based on the fact that I've eliminated a lot of possible sums? I don't actually think I've eliminated that many sums, have I? I've eliminated 14, so this is not a 4 plus 10. Yeah, there we go. This cell needs to go in this box. David points out, and it doesn't repeat in the cage, and it's not 7 just by Sudoku, so this is only 1, 2, 5, or 6, and it's not a 2 by Sudoku either. So this is only a 1, 5, 6. It can't escape through here? What's wrong with that? It is a good point that we can contemplate where purple escapes, but I think there's 2 outlets. So we either have, so I guess this is sort of the core of Eckbert's point. If these aren't both purple, then we need to have purple sort of coming down here. So either these are both purple or these are both purple, just for purple to connect. Let's see. Let's see. David says this is not yellow. Maybe I should fill in the candidates in this box. Would that be a smart idea? 3. No, not 3. There's already a 3 in the box. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so those aren't 4. Those aren't 6. These aren't 1. We've used 12 and 14 and 15 and 19. Thank you, Matt Laffey, for that. Okay, so we're claiming this cage can't be 2-cell plus 4-cell because one of these is an 8 or a 9. So if this is purple, at least one of the cells below it is also purple. The stick is max 5. By the stick, you mean these two? Oh, I see. This is max 5. I see. We do have 6 in one of these two. Right. If this is yellow, then that's yellow. Right. And then that definitely doesn't work. Okay, yeah. So if this is yellow by the border property, this is also yellow. This is what David is saying. And now we've got 4 yellows, which sum to at least 2, 3, 4, 8, because we know there's an 8 or a 9 in here. 2, 3, 4, 8 is 17. These cells definitely don't sum to 17. Ergo, this cell is definitely purple. So that's yellow to avoid a 2 by 2. That's purple to avoid that. And now this had better be purple. So it had better be the case that this can be 4-2 because otherwise it breaks, I think. So I don't think the proof that it wasn't 4-2 was right. Notably, we can now definitely verify the J cell because we did not use the J cell in our proof. And so we have verified. Thank you for your service, Josh. So now these sum to a minimum of 14. So these certainly sum to a minimum of 14, which means there's nothing smaller than 5 in them. So these are certainly from 5, 6, 8, 9. Oh, but they can't sum to 14 because we've already used 14, right? Let me go back to Matt Laffey's list. We have already used 14. So they sum to a minimum of 14, except they can't sum to 14, and they can't sum to 15 because we've used that too. So they actually sum to a minimum of 16. But I can't make these two cells sum to 16, so I have to make them sum to 17. And so therefore, these cells sum to 10. And they don't seem to be 2, 3, 5, and therefore they need a 1 in them. And they've got a 4 and a 5 by our fact that if you have 3 cells that are distinct that sum to 10, they either have a 1 or are exactly 2, 3, 5. And these weren't exactly 2, 3, 5 because the 3 in this box is over here. 6, 5. That was very clever. 2, 1, 2. I'm very impressed by how many times Jay has managed to work in using the rule about not repeating totals. We know the total here is 14, so this 6 is yellow and that cell is purple. So we've got a 2 over there, a 1 over there. Okay, so this is a 1, 2, 5 regardless. This digit is a naked single. It's a 6. So that's not a 6. So that is a 6 by oh wait, sorry, that I don't think that was true. Sorry. I viewed these as an 8-9 pair. These are not an 8-9 pair. Because of that one not being 6 or 9 and not 8 or 9. They look pretty similar though. Okay, so they're now by sudoku as a 1 in these cells. And so we have that. This is now just a 2 or a 5. Okay, so that finally tells us the cage is not 2, 3, 5. People should have believed me when I said the cage wasn't 2, 3, 5. But no one ever believes the zeta. So it's either 3, 1, 2 or 5, 1, 4. Sure is. It's one of those. Let's see. We know the other 8, 9 is in this row somewhere. In fact, funnily enough, the 8 in this row is trapped in only those 2 places. We know one of these is a 1. A pure zeta intuition solve might involve a lot of undo. That's very possible. David pointing out there's a lot of restriction on what this total can be because we've used so many totals, because we've now also used 17. I was trying to find the Matt Laffey thing. So we've used 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 14, 17. Sorry, 12, 14, 15, 17, and 19. Although I guess 19 was never a risk. And so the total here is at most 15, but it can't be 15 or 14. It's at most 15 because 4 digits sum to at most 30, by the way. And so it can't be 15, it can't be 14, and it can't be 12. Yet there's an 8 or a 9 in it. So the total is certainly at least 9, but we've used 9. So the total is at least 10. So the total can only be 10, 11, or 13. Oh, it actually can't be 10 because I actually know there's no 2 or 1 in here. And so this 8, 9 can't be part of a sum to 10. It could be part of a sum to 11 if it's, say, 8, 3. Sorry, I keep scrolling back to Matt Laffey's post that was the list. Let me actually see if I can copy this. I'm going to copy it for my own sanity and update it. This is just Matt Laffey's list, but I'm going to add 17 so that I don't have to scroll back quite as far when I'm looking at this list. Oh, there we go. Matt Laffey updated it for me. Thank you, Matt Laffey. So there is a 5, right? There is a 5. So if there is a 5, it's definitely super not 10. If it's 11, then that would mean we'd have a 5, 6, and an 8, 3, I suppose. 13. Yes, 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 yes. So per David's earlier point, this digit goes in box 2 in one of these cells. But that means it's not 6, because if this is 6, I have ruled 6 entirely out of this box, so this is a 5. I guess I could also phrase David's point as corner marking 6 in one of these two cells and saying this isn't 6, but I liked David's phrasing better. So that actually gets us some sudoku stuff happening. Okay, so now we know, that was a very useful point, because now we know this is 154. We know that's not a 4. Okay, so the 5 is the lone color, for whatever it's worth. Wait, do we know whether it's 4-1 or 4-1? This can't be... Oh, this could be yellow because we haven't had 11. Sorry. I was thinking this was going to be impossible to be yellow because it couldn't be 11, but it could be yellow. Oh, we know this for the box. Thank you, thank you. It is a 3 I'm going to fill in. Okay, so this row is only missing 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. Okay, so it turned out it was actually missing a lot more things than I thought it was, but these cells don't actually have that many options. See, we do know the 4 can't join an 8. So I guess we could ask ourselves, what digit does the 4 join? We know the 4 doesn't join anything 5 or less. The 4 could, in theory, join a 6. It could, in theory, join a 7. And then it could, in theory, join a 9. I guess those are the only options for what this total could be. We do know there's a 2 over here for what little that is worth. I guess I know one of these 2 is a 4. Yeah, maybe I should just fill this in. Maybe I should... Okay, so we've got the 5, 6, 7, and 8. Oh, we don't really have anything else. We've just got the 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. Okay. Could this possibly be a 9? I guess this can be a 9 if this is an 8, maybe. I do know one of these 2 is 8, but I seem to have basically already taken that into account. Oh, Eckbert, very smart. Eckbert knows the sum of this cage, because Eckbert knows that the whole box sums to 45. Don't tell anyone. But that's 6, 11, 18. And so 45 minus 18 is 35 minus 8 is 27, plus 5 is 32. And so the total here is 16. I'm going to draw that over here. Okay, that's not really the tool that I had in mind, but I'm going to go with it. So these two cells definitely don't sum to 16 by themselves. So it's definitely oh yeah, there's no 7, 9 at all, actually. I know the purple isn't 7, 9 either, because there's just no 7 in this cage. So it's definitely 3 and 3. And I know one of these two cells. Oh, no, I don't. So say I know one of these two cells is yellow, but I don't know one of these two cells is yellow. I know one of these two cells is purple, which doesn't help. Uh, 16 plus 16 means that the sum of this is 32. So the outies sum to 13. One of them is a 7. So this is missing. Oh, I just know what digits are in it. I don't even know why I'm doing this. I might as well just write in these digits, right? These are 1, 3, 6, not 7, 8, and 9. So these I know aren't 1 or 6. These I know aren't 8. These I know aren't 9. I'm going for a total of 16. I don't often say this, but we've been working on this puzzle for about 90 minutes now, and it has just flown by. This is really, this has been very consuming in a good way. Okay, so Dorlier is looking at the world where this is yellow, because if this is yellow, these two sum to 11. Which I think they just can't, right? They can't be any combination that sums to 11. I think my proof is slightly different than Dorlier's, but this can't be yellow, because if this is yellow, I need these two to sum to 11. Oh, they could be 3, 8. Darn it. Darn it. The proof does not quite work, because these could. Oh, no, they can't be 3, 8, because that cell would be 3, 8, or that cell would be broken. Yeah, okay, so funnily enough, through some weird combination of me misdoing it and Dorlier missing something and everything, this still can't be yellow. Dorlier is still at the end of the day correct. Because, yeah, if this was yellow, we would need these to sum to 11. 3, 8's the only option, but it's not actually an option. Okay. So 5 and 9 doesn't work, because if this was 5 and 9, they would need to go with a 2, and there is no 2 available. So this is only a 1 or a 3, which gives me a 1-3 pair in this column. Yeah, Dorlier becoming the future seer. We have a 2, 4, 9 here. That's not a 9, therefore. It's also possible I should now re-examine what options are available for what the 4 goes with. Okay, so now a 1, a 3, and a 5. Sorry, a 1 and a 5 need to go with a 10. That doesn't work either. Yeah, so this has to be a 3, in fact. Just this one. 9 and 3. So that is an 8 and a 9. And a 1 and a 3. Those aren't 3. That's not 9. So the 3 and the 5, in order to get to 16, need the 8, which makes that yellow. And I can get rid of my 16 now. Goodbye, 16. So now we have 16 on our list. Okay, and so now purple has not gotten out of the top, and so therefore that cell at least is purple now. This is a 1, 6, or 8, and I think it sure is. I don't think I know anything more than that. I know these two are opposite parity, but I don't think that helps me very much. This column is missing a 1, a 6, and a something else. A 3? Yeah, this column is missing a 1, 3, and 6. Okay, and these two have different parities. So if this is even, this is odd, which would give us a 1, 3 pair here. And if this is odd, this is even. The 8 is placed in row 6, Screaming Ice Cube spots. That is true. The 8 in row 6 goes here. Very nice. That's a smart spot from Emma. There just can't be a 1 in this cage, because if there's a 1 in this cage, the total of the cage would be at most 10, and we know the total of the cage, in fact, the total of the cage would be at most 9, and we know the total of the cage isn't at most 9. So there's no 1 here, and then, therefore, this is even, and so that's odd, so it's a 3. Okay, and so now we know those two are the same color, and that one's the other color, whatever color that may be. Now, the total of this cage is 10 plus 10, in which case it's 20. That would work well. Or 10 plus 12. So unfortunately, it works either way. It's being claimed I previously shown that these weren't both yellow. Yeah, if these are both yellow, it creates a checkerboard. Because this purple needs to get out through here, and this needs to be purple for checkerboarding. So yeah, so that those aren't both purple. Those are both yellow. Sorry, those aren't both yellow. They're both purple. This is yellow. That can't be purple, because if that's purple, I can't get purple out of here. So we end up with that. The purple has to keep getting out. That has to be yellow to avoid a 2x2. That has to be purple to avoid a 2x2. That has to be 6 because Sven says so. This has to be purple to avoid a 2x2, and then this has to be purple to avoid a checkerboard. Okay, so presently, Screaming Ice Cube spots that 5 is just placed here. Seems useful. Okay, this is a 2, a 3, or a 9, and it's not a 2. So this is only a 3 or a 9 by the row. 8 and 9 would have to go with 4 and 5. 5 and 6 of column 5 are different colors. Right, they can't both be yellow and they can't both be purple. I agree. One would break the cage if they're both yellow, and the other would break the box if they're just both, well, it would break the 2x2 if they're both purple. So these two are one of each, which means this one's purple, because we've got one of them is yellow, so therefore that one's purple. Eckbert has a different proof that 3 and 4 add to 7, and that would be a very big problem. So it's either 3 and 7 are purple, and this is a 6. Or this is an 8, and this is and then it's 3, 8, and 4, 7. Yes. Dorlier points out that if this is yellow, then yellow needs to escape, and if this is purple, then I create a 2 by 2. So this is always yellow regardless. Emma also points this out. So yeah, we know we've got a 10 or 11 over here. Do I know that this 8 and 5 are definitely different colors? Yeah, oh no. Oh no, it's Casey. Yes, there is a parity thing now. These two are both odd, and that's even, so therefore this is even. I think that is what Todd saw. So this is only a 4 or a 6. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so this can't be 11 as the total. Gotta look for this. Okay, so 12 we already had, did we? I think we already had 12. I might have to scroll back. It's definitely not 12. 13, I think, is open. Yeah, so 13 is open. Well, Matt Laffey's list more than my list, if I'm honest, but I'll take credit. So yeah, so we can't do 11. We can't do 10 certainly. And so 13 is our only available option, right? So we have to do that the 5 and the 8 are the same color. And if that's the case, then I can draw a little bar there as well to mark that off. And now this can't be purple because if it's purple, that's also purple. So this has to be yellow. And so that is yellow, and these are both purple. Now that's purple to avoid a checkerboard. And so these are either 6 and 7, which they aren't, or they are 4 and 9. 2, 3, 4, 3, 9, 6. This yellow needs to get out. So we get that. That purple comes over there. That yellow gets out. Boy, for the goal of I can go back and show you. I was a little bit short about that. If this is purple, then these are both yellow. Sorry, did I say it was purple? Yeah. If this is purple, these are both yellow by my marks. But now this cell is yellow as well because of this 2 by 2. So basically, it's the same problem where it causes that issue, where it creates a checkerboard. I realize I just overwrote the thing that I had said. Uh, that's okay. It's good for the soul to rewrite it in. So those are purple, and that's purple. That's yellow. So these are yellow. And this is purple because of this box. And so that is an 8 and a 6 for the goal being to have the Sudoku and the pencil puzzle component finish at the same time. I'm not sure I've ever seen a puzzle more successfully have both of those things finish at the same time. That was a beautiful puzzle, Jay. I really enjoyed that. I am going to take a quick stretch break, and I'll be back in just a moment with more puzzles. And later, we're going to premiere the Lingo Let's Play. So I'll be right back in just a moment. Alrighty, welcome back. Let's do a Marty Sears spaghetti puzzle. I'm very easy to sell on spaghetti puzzles. Clover the other day was on stream, and it was great fun. But one of the things she said was, I just hate it when I see a puzzle. It's just a bunch of lines constraints drawn over the puzzle, and I felt slightly personally attacked. This is definitely a thing that I feel good about. So here we go. So let's read the rules to Marty Sears' puzzle. So we have normal Sudoku rules. One digit is inactive and always gets ignored by any line it appears on. Region sums. Box borders divide the grid. Oh, yeah. Usual region sum rules. So the sum of these digits is the same as the sum of these digits is the same as the sum of these digits. All active digits on a pink line must form a non-repeating consecutive set, and any two digits anywhere on a yellow line must not be consecutive or the same. Okay, so it's only one digit that we have to determine. So we know that every digit on this is either 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9, or it's the inactive digit. Now, these can't all be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Oh, actually, sorry. The inactive digit could be on here twice. Sorry, the inactive digit could be on here twice. Because there's no reason it can't, I don't think. If there are 5 active digits on this, then assuredly it is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. But I don't know that that's the case. And if it is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, then that's going to require an inactive digit on one of these two renbon, because every 2-length renbon that has only active digits needs an odd and an even. And so at least one of these has an odd and an even on it. So you can think about that. I'm going to mark that I know, and I still haven't gotten my good color palette back, so I'm sorry about that. I know these are both real digits, because if these aren't both real digits, ugh, that looks horrible. I'm going to see if I can just quickly sort of force a reasonable color to be my, like, little slightly off grayish color, like that. Let's try that. Is that visible to you? It looks visible. It looks not disgusting. It doesn't look oppressive. It's slightly purplish. My reasoning was that there's 5 real digits on here at least. And if there's 5 real digits on here at least, then the sum needs to be at least 15, which needs at least 2. Now, there can't be 6 real digits on this, because if there's 6 real digits on this, then the sum would be at least 21, and that's too many. So I know actually, oops, sorry, there we go. So we've got that likewise. Okay, I know that the fake digit shows up in one of these cells. I could do the same thing down here. These are both real digits because the sum is at least 10. So these have to be real and these have to be real. Oh, likewise, actually, these have to be real. Sorry, I didn't realize that. And these have to be real and these have to be real. So one of those is fake. So the sum of all the real digits in this box is even, and therefore the fake digit that we took away is odd, because 45 is odd. Okay, so if the fake digit is odd, that means the fake digit actually is on this line twice. So just to repeat that again, the fake digit is odd because we know that the sum of the 4 lines through here, discounting that digit, is even. But 45 is odd if we put it back. So we're taking out an odd digit, which means that I need to have 2 fake digits on this, which means that digit is fake. I can't use that color for fake. That digit is fake, and one of these 2 is fake, and so everything else is real. And so all of this is real. All of this is real. That is my fake line cell there. Bam, like that. Okay, so yeah, one of those is fake. Okay, so we've got all of that happening. Now, if you look at these cells, they can't all sum to 15, which if these were all real, they would need to sum to at least 15. But there's only 2 ways to make 15. So the fake digit is up here, not down here. So that is the fake digit. Yeah, this is a very, very elegant puzzle for Marty. I think Marty is getting much better as a setter as time goes on, which is nice. Let's see. So we've got all of that. Oh, and I can fill in. I guess I'll fill it in here. We do know that this is odd. That was the whole shtick that we were doing. It's funny, these 2 digits and these 2 digits are all different. So, like, these 2 digits we know show up here in this box, bizarrely enough. We can do some strange stuff like that because of the fact that... Oh, sorry, that's not quite true. That's not quite true. Sorry, one of these could be on there. It's just the other one can't. It depends on if this one's the middle digit or not. Okay. So, I guess we can do the math here. And Matt Laffey is doing the math here for us of what is the sum of these digits. We know that it needs to be at least 40 because the 4 real digits over here sum to at least 10, and this is at least 4 times that. So the real digits sum to at least 40, and therefore this can't be 7 or 9. Now, also, there's a mod 4 trick, which is to say that these digits sum to a multiple of 4. And so if this was a 3, you can't make 45 as a multiple of 4 plus 3. So in fact, this has to be a 1 or a 5 are the only digits that I can make inactive. So we've got that. Now, if this is a 5, it should be noted the 1, 2, 3, and 4 all live up here, which sounds problematic, but I'm not quite sure that I know much about it yet. Oh, yes, the rule is it's the same inactive digit ever. Sorry, I can shrink my zeta self. If the fake is 1, then that's a very good spot, from Pink Maple. If the fake is 1, then in this box, we've got 5 digits that are all more than 1 that are counting towards the sum. That would sum to at least 20, but I can't make these sum to 20. So the fake digit is 5. I will bring out Zach for the 5 dance. Boop, boop, doop. Woo! Boop, 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 ba. Wah! Boop, 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 boop. Wee! Boop, 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 boop. Woohoo! Thank you, Zach. Thank you. So we can fill in some 5s. We know one of these is a 5, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so the Nabner line here just has one number. It has one of 1, 2, one of 3, 4, one of 6, 7, and one of 8, 9, because it can't have two of any of those. So that means these renbans each need to come from borders between those. So there's a 1, 2, a 3, 4, a 6, 7, and an 8, 9. So these renbans can only be 2, 3, 4, 6, or 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, which is, I guess, a little bit excessive, but, well, it's me. What do you expect? Uh, okay. I probably should let myself think about the fact that, oh yeah, these things do sum to 10, I guess. So I know that the 1, 2, 3, and 4 are up here. I know that these definitely, I guess I know that these are a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quadruple or quintuple. Maybe I shouldn't bother with the, that. So these are a 6, 7, 8, 9. And so the point is these are a 6, 7, 8, 9, so these can't be fake. If one of these digits is fake, then the total doesn't work. So these are real. And in particular, this sum is a minimum. Oh, I should do this math. I was going to say it's a minimum of 13, but it can't be a minimum of 13 because this is 1, 6, 7, and 1, 8, 9. So this is 1, 6, 7, and 1, 8, 9 as well. So this actually sums to a minimum of 14, which means that these digits need to be at least 5, except 5 is the fake digit. So they are also 6, 7, 8, 9. Because if the sum needs to be at least 14, then that works. And so in fact, the sum is 15. This is super cute. So these sum to 15. So these sum to 15 because all of these numbers sum to 30, but they can't be 7, 8. They can only be 6, 9 because they're on a Nabner. That was beautiful. Chef's kiss. Great job, Marty, on that string of stuff. And now we can't do anything from 7, 8 because it won't fit on the Renban. So these are only from 1, 2, 3, 4. They definitely include a 2 and a 3. I hit the wrong number. Okay. So no 2, 3 down here. Doesn't immediately tell me a lot. I don't think. Let's see. Right. Emma points out, or sorry, Pink Maple points out 7 and 8 in this box have to go somewhere. They don't both go here, so one of them is here. So there's a 7, 8 on here and a 1 or a 4. And I think it doesn't matter at all what the rest of this is. So remember, one of these Renban could only be, remember, from 2, 3. Wait, why did I have too many digits here, don't I? I have too many digits. I didn't mark this right. Let me say this again. Okay, so these are one digit from 1, 2, one from 3, 4, one from 6, 7, and one from 8, 9. So therefore, these have to bridge the border. Oh, so these are either 2, 3 or 7, 8. Those were the only ever possibilities. I said 4, 6 as though 4, 6 was a Renban, and if anyone corrected me, I didn't notice. So anyway, the point is now we know that one of these is 2, 3 and one of them is 7, 8, and this one isn't 7, 8. So this one isn't 2, 3. That's what we were actually supposed to do. I said that before, but I erroneously included a 4, 6 as a valid option for the Renban. And so therefore these remaining digits are 1, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and those aren't the 5. Okay, and so we've got a sort of virtual 1, 4 pair. Oh, no, sorry, that's not true. Oh no, we do have a virtual 1-4 pair, because I can only have one of 1 and 4 down here. So there's a 6 and a 9 down here, because I need a 1 or a 4 for this. That means there's no 6, 9 up here. These are only for 1, 4, 5. And now my 7, 8 in the row, funnily enough, are here. I could have phrased it that way to start, I suppose, if we wanted. But what are you going to do? Okay, so if there's no 9 on here, then what would we have? We would have A12, A34, and A6. So there is a 6 or a 9 on here, I guess, is what I'm saying, which is not an incredibly useful thing. People are pointing out I can do a little sudoku, like removing 7, 8 from here by the 7, 8 pair across, and now I've got my 1, 4, and my 5, and this is my other 7, 8. So it is in my good graces now. And now this isn't the 5, because it's got a 5 looking across, so now that is the 5. Like that. Okay, and so I might as well just fill in what this is. So these are from 2, 3. We've got the 4, we've got the 5, and we need a 6. We've got the 7, 8, and we need a 9. So this is definitely a 2 or 3, because I can't put both 2 and 3 on there. But I have to put at least one of 2 and 3 on here. So this is never a 2, 3, which means these are a 2, 3. And so that is surely going to do something if I think about it in the right way. So there's sort of a bizarro 2, 3, 1, 4 thing going on. Okay. David is pointing out that these two add to 10, and they aren't 4, 6, or 1, 9. So these are only from 2, 3, 7, 8. Oh, sorry. It was even these cells that also have to be, they also have to sum to 10. Which I have literally never noticed that these digits were in this box, aside from, I think, the second I grade them. So these can only be 1, 9, or 4, 6. So that gives us a sort of virtual 6, 9 pair, if you want. So this is the other 1, 4 for the box, I guess, is the point here. So these two aren't that one. Let's see. I guess I know that these sum to at least 15, and they're not 7, 8, so therefore they have a 9 in them, is a thing that I can do, because again, they sum to... In fact, they sum to at least 16, I guess, if I look at this, because 5 is the deactivated digit. So, yeah, so this is from certainly 7, 8, 9, and so coming over here, I can do that. And I actually have a 7, 8, 9 triple now. So these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're not 5, I guess. So these are either all above 5 or all below 5. Hey, Marty, this is an excellent puzzle. I really like this. This is probably going to be my my favorite of your puzzles that I've ever done. If they're all below 5, that breaks, I think, because I've got... Oh, that would just give me a 7, 8, 9 triple over there, which actually probably works. I do like colorful lines. It's true. Uh, let's see if this is a 7-8 or a 9. It's a 7-8. Just by the it's not. Sorry, it's not. There we go. This makes it much, much, much easier. This cell isn't high because we've used all the high digits in the row already. So this cell is from 1, 2, 3, 4. So that cell is from 1, 2, 3, 4, and this cell is from 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we do have our 7, 8, 9 over here, and those are a 7, 9 pair because they need to stay apart. So that's an 8. Okay. That is, I think, much easier than what I was trying to do. As soon as I saw that it was going to force this, I was like, oh, it probably has to be that. Because it seemed like that was probably what this was doing here. There's also an easier thing here, which is that these cells, I don't know why, I can't see the cells on this line that are outside of box 5. In my brain, this region sum line only exists in box 5 and box 4. These two add to 10, so they're certainly 4, 6. As chat has been trying to tell me, and I keep being afraid to try and figure out what cells they're talking about. But it was those cells, so this is a 1, that's a 4. Like that. Oops, sorry, that was a 4, not a 7. So these are a 1, 5. These aren't a 4. That's apparently not a 1. So these are 1, 2, 3. This number here, by the way, it could be no, it can't be a 6. It can't be a 5. So this is from 1, 2, 3, 4 as well. And it's only from 1, 2, 3, actually. Right. This, now once I resolved this, it now knocks 3 off of here. So now that is 3. So that's not 3, so that's not 7 for what it is worth. I know that these now are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, by the way, because I know the sum is 16. And so these I know are 7, 8, 9, which by this 7, 8, 9 triple tells me that this is a 6 and that's a 9, which makes that a 4 and that a 6. Oh, I could have also used the 6, 9 pair to resolve that, but what fun is that? Okay, so no 5s over there. No 4 or 6 there. I know one of these is 8 because I've got a 7, 8, 9 triple in this row. So that's not 8. In fact, 8 is just placed in this box there by that. So this is, this 7, 9, by the way, looks down here and sorts out that 6 and that 9. This is another 1, 2, 3 for the column, because that's what's left in the column. Okay, that's 7, 8, 9. Okay, there's 1, 1, 2, 3 left in this box. These 3 add to 10, and they do so honestly, and they're not 2, 3, 5. So they definitely contain a 1. So this is the trick, is if these were 2, 3, 5, then that would be 4 2, 3, 5s in column 6. That's too many. And if they sum to 10, this is just one of those things that's worth codifying. Similar to, I mean, maybe I only think so because I like 10 lines a lot, but one of the things I have codified in my head is that if a 3-cell sum to 10 doesn't have a 1, it's exactly 2, 3, 5, as long as there's no repeats and all that sort of jazz. So there's a 1 in here, and it's not 1, 4, 5, of course. So it's either 1, 3, 6 or 1, 2, 7. I don't know if this is really worth marking, but those aren't 3, so that's not 6. Okay. Now, if I actually make all 4 of these real digits, now they sum to a minimum of, basically, I guess the way to do this economically is to say that the minimum sum of all of these cells, if they're real, is, and I have to take out the 5, so I'd be putting the 5 there. So it would be 40 minus 9 is 31. That would mean that the minimum sum, if I take away the 10, the minimum sum of these would be 21 if without a 5, so that doesn't work. So they need a 5. That I think I did that math correctly. Perhaps more convolutedly than you'd have preferred, but basically I used the fact that all of the box sums to 40, this sums to 10, and so if I held the active cell off down here, these would sum to 10, and so these would be 40 minus 9 was the best, 30 minus 9, 21, which was too big because the sum is 16. Okay, so these three cells sum to 16. That's the upshot of this whole story. Oh, I can actually type the 5 into the box if people like that kind of thing. So that is not a 5. Okay. There's A78 looking up here. Yeah, we've got high digits in this row. So this needs to be a high digit is what Mekti is saying, because we've got to fit 2 more high digits. And of course, one of them can go here. The other has to go here. So this is 6, 7, or 9. And so if that's 6, 7, or 9, well, it's not 7 because it sums to 10 with this cell, and this cell isn't 3. So this is the other one, 4 in the column. So there's no 1 over there. So that is 1. So we've got that. Okay, so that's not 1, so that's not 9, apparently. Okay, so we've got our 1, 4 gone, so that's not a 4 for what it's worth, or a 1. And we can repeat with row 5. We've got 7, 8, and 9. Or sorry, we've got 7, 8, and 9 to place in this row. The only place we can put one of them is there. So now this is a 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's no 3 here anymore. Right. The only way this is going to work as 1, 3, 6 was if that was the 3. And because the 1 went there, it can't be the 3. So this is 1, 2, 7. I agree. So that is an 8 and a 2. It's a 7 and an 8. This is the other 6, 9 for the column. Let's see, that's not a 2, that's not an 8. That's not a 2, so we know one of these was a 2, so it's that one. This isn't a 2 either, so one of those is a 2. Let's see. So these two cells, we actually know their sum, right? If I'm willing to engage in a little bit more math than I'm usually used to on this stream. So that's 16, 21, 31. So these sum to 14, and they're not 7, 7. So these are, and they're not 5, 9. So these can only be 6, 8, if I did that correctly. So that's a 9. It's a 6 and a 7. And these are 2, 4. Uh-oh. No, sorry. These don't sum to, these sum to 7. So they're 3, 4. Sorry, 3, 4. So that makes that an 8 and a 9. That a 7 and a 9. A 2, a 6, and 8, a 7. 9, 7, 8. 4, 6. 1, 4. 9, 1. 7, 9. How long was it sitting there that I had half of a sum to 10 filled in? Don't tell me. I don't want to know. 2, 1. 3, 2. 8, 7. 9, 6. It was a very short time. Okay, you're allowed to tell me if it was a very short time. I only didn't want to know if the answer was that it was a long time. Let's see, those aren't 2. That's not 2, apparently. It's not 2. not 2, not 1. Okay, so we've got all that. So those are 2, 3 pairs, so there's no 3 here for sure. So that means there is a 3 here, which means these are a 3, 7, and thanks to Sudoku, we know the order. Thanks to Sudoku, we also knew that they were 3, 7. So it was all okay the whole time. These are something. One of them is a 3 for sure. One of them is a 4, and one of them is a 6. So that one is the one that's the 6, we at least know. So that's not a 6, which gets rid of 1 and 2 from the rest of this box, which is not super useful. But that one's the one that's the 6, because we've got a 3, 4, 5 triple there. So that is a cromulent digit. Okay, we know we've got a 5 in here somewhere. We've got a 1, 5 pair in column 3, so that is a 3, which is also a cromulent digit. That is a 2 and a 3, so that's a 2 and a 3. So that is a 4, a 1, and a 2. That's a 3 and a 4. This is a 5. This does remind me I am going to do the rest of the Rat Race series at some point. I mean, I guess I can't really do the rest of it because I assume it's not finished. There'll probably be another season of it, but that is my orange, and that is my orange, and these are my slightly purplish gray. I like the slightly purplish gray. I think it works. Very nice puzzle, Marty. I loved that. That was the perfect... I mean, I would really call this a 3-star puzzle in any sort of sane universe. Like this is certainly a like 2-star puzzle by the current LMD meta, but I think that's a little bit crazy. But a great puzzle, like smooth from start to finish. I loved so many steps in there that were just chef's kiss. Yeah, I think this is just a matter of the weird grade erosion that happens on LMD. Yeah, it's 2 stars if you're gatekeeping Sudoku. Yeah, I think that is a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, I feel like given that I've been streaming for 3 years, if I go through a puzzle quickly, that doesn't mean it should be 2 stars. Especially given I've been streaming Sudoku for 3 years and I have all 30 of you to help me. So I think then, if you say 2 stars is 30 people with varying levels of Sudoku experience, but many of whom are higher than me, can solve it in half an hour, then you've maybe not left yourself a lot of room on the scale for someone who's trying to get into the hobby of Sudoku and started it a couple weeks ago. It'd just be nice to have more scale. You'll go back in time and watch the beginning of the solve. I will be like... God, what is the name of the rat? Finks. I'll be like Finks and travel in time, and you will see me, a younger, hipper Zeta, from before I became old and jaded, and you can see that Zeta solve the puzzle. Alrighty, I'm going to take a real quick break. I'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, Pink Maple says the real problem is that like 1-star puzzles include like a really ridiculous range, like there's this really delightful puzzle that Woofer and Jacob made for my 100th stream, which is, I guess, a long time ago. It's like there's some purple lines in the grid and they sum to 100, and that's the only clue in the puzzle, is the purple lines that sum to 100. And so if you like very carefully set up what the min and max are, it all collapses, and it's not incredibly complicated, but it's rated as 1 star, and it feels to me like that's saying like, oh, if you're starting out with Sudoku, you should start with this puzzle, and I think that's very much not the case. So yeah, I think 1 star on both Puzzlink and LMD are broken, but in very different ways. But they're both completely broken as means of trying to figure out, which means that when people are trying to get into Sudoku, they basically have to tell someone, if you go to this one channel on this one Discord, you can find the gas puzzles, and those are probably what you're looking for, which feels not ideal to me as a mechanism for onboarding people to Sudoku. But I can talk about how it's a problem, but I'm definitely not going to fix it. So maybe someone will fix it. I've heard lots of stories of people doing it. I should also say, by the way, if you are in this situation, you should also go and do Rank's Adventure Series, because Rank's Adventure Series are also similar. Yeah, that's sort of a reasonable is like, okay, if you are a newer solver, do these like have like two tiers or something like that of like, do I think this is a new solver friendly puzzle, yes or no? uh, which is a similar sort of thing. Like, I mean, if heaven forbid someone who's a new solver go do like a 2-star yin yang puzzle that assumes you know all the secret rules of yin yang, for example, there's lots of weird stuff like this. Uh, yeah, the 5-star is also a problem, but it's a very different problem, I think. But yeah, the oh, and Islands of Insight. I haven't tried Islands of Insight. Do you like Islands of Insight? Is it fun? Where you're gonna get to see me play Lingo in a little bit, and that'll be exciting. And I will get to like facepalm at all the things that I now understand that I did not then, because we're gonna be watching my like first hour of playing the game, and I am now on my like 15th hour of playing the game or something. So I understand a lot of things that I did not previously understand. Uh, Alrighty. I am going to take the promise stretch, but I'll be back and we'll do another puzzle. So see you in just a moment. All right, welcome back. We are going to do this Nory-nori Star Battle by Nell. It says by Chris Kringle because this, as a great many nice puzzles are, this was a Secret Santa related puzzle. And this is by Nell Gwen, regular of the channel and Turbine. So what we need to do is we need to shade 2 cells in every region such that all shaded cells are parts of dominoes, and dominoes do not touch each other orthogonally. And then we have the modified star battle. We need to place 1 star in every region such that each row and column contains exactly 2 stars. The stars don't touch each other even diagonally, and stars can only be placed in unshaded cells. So this is a sort of slightly varied, although it's a pretty common variation that you'll see of a 2-star star battle. We know that one of these is a star, and so therefore anything that touches all 3 of them. Tristan will put a link in the chat in just a second, I think. So this is not a star. Now, whether it's shaded or not, I don't know. Maybe I should use an X rather than shading to say it's not a star. I'll put an X there to say this is not a star. It could be shaded. And so we know these are all shaded or a star, I guess, is the thing we know. So maybe I should mark all of these as, like, these are either shaded or star. Is that true, Emma? Because the shadeds don't have to go in. It doesn't have to shade a domino in each region. You just have to shade dominoes. Uh, yeah, I guess I want shaded, a star, and nothing are really the 3 states that a cell can be. And so a star will be yellow, I think. Shaded will be black. And then this cell is nothing, so I'll mark it I think as nothing. Provided I have to convince myself I believe David's argument. I think I do. Yeah, the wait, do I? Well, this cell is certainly, I guess I'm going to mark this cell certainly not a star. This cell certainly not a star. Likewise, this cell certainly not a star. Not sure I completely understand the rest of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I think if I highlight these regions, this is a different point, but I think it is a point that will get us something. I think this is 8 regions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so these have the 8 stars in rows 1, 2, 3, and 4 in them. And therefore, all of this is not a star because I need to fit star, or I've used enough stars already. So one of these 2 is a star, which means this definitely isn't a star. This is also not a star for similar reasons regarding this L. How do I know that it's not like it's shaded and this is a star and that's a star? Oh, yeah. Okay, yes, I agree. Okay, yes, now I see it. Right. So uh, yeah, so I think I agree. This is not a star and it's not shaded. Uh, uh, this is definitely not a star. Uh, because if this was a star, it would rule a star out of that box. So this is our first official. This is definitely a star. I'll mark it with yellow and a circle. Maybe black is the wrong color circle to have. Maybe an orange circle instead. Maybe I don't need a thing. I'm not sure. Uh, anyway, that means that sorry, I said it's not a star, and then I proceeded to debate how to denote the star. It's not a star. It is shaded. Uh, okay, and uh, so that means one of these two is a star, which certainly unshades those. Uh, or sorry, unstars these. Sorry, I should say. So one of these three is a star, so that's not a star. Okay, and so now in row one, now my two stars are there and there, and so therefore these aren't stars. And now one of these two is a star, so these two aren't stars. And that one's not a star. Uh, uh, stars in row two, column. The dominoes can cross region borders. Let's see. If this is shaded, right. The second this is shaded, David is right. These both become stars because that finishes the domino. So this is a star. I guess I'll do it like that. Maybe red. We'll make the stars ketchup. You don't see a lot of ketchup stars anymore. Okay, so now this is not shaded at the very least. And it's not a star either because it's adjacent to a star. But if this was shaded, I would create a triomino. So this is shaded, and likewise that is shaded, which means these are unshaded, regardless of whether they're stars or not. And now this is shaded because it's got to go somewhere, and there's nowhere else for it to go, which now means this is a star. Maybe I should just not have a color for stars. Maybe I should just have stars marked as red circles. Maybe that will be least confusing to my poor brain that has a hard time scanning this. Okay, so those aren't stars. And so now the only place that I can put a star is there, I believe. Which means these are not stars. And now this is the only place for a star in row one, which means that's not a star, which means that is a star. I don't think I've screwed anything up. Let me know if you disagree. This can't be shaded because if this is shaded, then I have to also shade that, and that's too many shadeds. So now this is the only cell I can shade in this upper region, which needs a second shaded cell, and that can't be shaded because it's a star, so this comes down here. Okay, and shaded cells are never stars, so I don't have to X those. Okay, and so now these are not shaded. Oh, and this isn't shaded. I just didn't ever mark that. I suppose. I guess I could mark the stars as also being unshaded. Maybe that will have the most consistent uh, aesthetic for this puzzle. Uh, one of these two is a star, uh, and therefore these aren't a star. Uh, oh, wait, sorry, I don't know that. Sorry, I just did exactly the thing I'm not supposed to do, which is to scan that as not a star, but I don't know that that's not a star. Uh, uh, did you think something was wrong because I misscanned my own thing? Yeah, this can be a star, but one of these three is a star, so that's definitely not a star. Um, just that notating these two on top of each other is very tricky for my poor brain. Uh, this is always shaded because if this is unshaded, it makes that shaded and it doesn't finish. So this is always shaded regardless of what else happens. Uh, oh, this region just needs. This region actually needs a star. And it really can't be one of those three. And therefore, one of these two really is a star. So these really aren't stars. One of these two, I think, now really is a star, and therefore that one isn't. Uh, oh, we just need two shaded cells in this region, and there are only two that it could possibly be, right? Uh, I think that's probably what David has been saying, and I was not quite understanding. So therefore, this is a star. Yeah, I was not. I somehow in my brain when you were saying shaded, I was hearing star, even though they sound very different. They both have an S in them, in fairness. Um, and so my brain was not parsing it correctly. Okay, this region needs a second shaded cell, and it can only be that. Uh, and so therefore that is unshaded and that is shaded for this region, I believe. I do agree we should be very diligent about our regions that have all of their stars, or in this case, columns that have all of their stars. Uh, for this row, one of these two... Uh-oh. Now it's broken, right? Uh, because I think I need two cells or two stars in this region, which does not work. Uh, unless I'm missing something. Yeah, but I need I need two stars in rows 3 and 4, which means I need two more stars. Uh, and I only have one region to put them in, right? Uh, oh, I see, I see. The problem is that I have somehow X'd this region when I was supposed to put a star in it or something. Uh, yeah, I think that is it, hopefully. I somehow, yeah, I made this region with no stars. Uh, okay, so hopefully that is it. We'll see. If we have to start over, we have to start over. It's not like it's been that long. Uh, so, star crisis averted indeed. So one of these is a star, so neither of these is, I think, is a correct deduction. I went back on a deduction but left the X in place. That sounds like a very me thing to do. Uh, let's see. I need a second shaded cell in here. Okay, I know. Okay, so if I count stars in columns 1 and 2, there are 3 of... Oh, no, not quite. There are 2 stars in column 5. That's true. Okay, so now one of these 3 is a star, so that isn't. And one of these 2 is a star, so these aren't. And now one of these 4 is a star, so this isn't. And that places... Oh, that does not quite place the star in column 7, but it almost does. Oh, did I say something wrong, Jim? Did I just put 2 stars in one region? Did I? Let's see. Have I backed up too far? I think I might have backed up too far. Or did I? No, maybe I have. I think what I screwed up was just a direct consequence of me starring these things. So let's go over this again and see if I was wrong. So I think I can star all of, or sorry, say none of these are stars. And then I think my claim was I need 3 total stars in these cells. And I've only got 3 regions in which to put them, so I claimed this wasn't a star. Do we agree with that so far? Oh, we somehow I screwed up this whole this being the star thing. Oh boy. Okay. I went back on correcting mistakes. So I definitely went back too far if I went back far enough to where I went back to the broken grid. Okay, I think that is still an X. I think one of these 2 is still... Oh, sorry. These 2 are still unshaded. Yeah, I think that's true, although I think I'm getting dangerously close to the part where people said I had made a mistake. I liked David's point that only one of these 2 can be shaded, so that's definitely shaded, which then means that's unshaded, which then means that's shaded, which then means that's unshaded, and that's shaded, and that's unshaded. Just nory-nori around there. Shout out to the Simon nory-nori video. Okay, there's more unshadeds coming down here. This column needs 2 stars, so that's definitely one of them. Do people agree with that? Because I can't put 2 of them in one region. I think that's true. So that's not shaded, and ergo that is the other shaded cell in this region, and ergo that is also shaded, and these aren't. Who was here for the Simon nory-nori video? Row 3, column 9. If this is unshaded, Josh points out that's a problem, because I know one of these 2 is the star, and if one of these 2 is the star, that one's unshaded, and so I need 2 shaded, so that's definitely shaded, which then makes that shaded, which then makes that unshaded, which then makes that shaded, making that shaded, making all of those unshaded, and making this the star. Do we agree with all of that mess? We can get rid of the X's from shadeds, at least. row 6, column 8 is shaded by the region. I agree. This region needs a second shaded, and it's got to go there. And so this cell's always unshaded, at least, because regardless of where this is shaded, it's going to be there or there. This is the, I can't remember what genre that is, but some genre of puzzle has that. It's twos in Nurikabi is what this is. Mean that's always unshaded. Okay, this still needs a star, and it still needs a second shaded cell. And this row still needs 2 stars. That region does already have 2 shaded cells. You're right. So I can just unshade both of these. And so therefore that one's shaded and these are unshaded. Thank you. Thank you for counting. Greatly appreciated. This can't be shaded because if it was, that would have to be shaded and that's not going to work. So that's shaded and that's shaded. And these are unshaded, which I think makes this the star for this region, if I understand how this puzzle works, which there's not a great deal of evidence to support, but we'll pretend. And so now the star for this region is here. So we have that. I still need one more star in this column. This 2x2 still needs a second shaded, so it's there. So that's unshaded again. Okay. Row 5, I'm being told, needs another star. And it's not there, so it's there. This square needs a star, Emma points out, so it's there. This 4x1 needs 2 shaded cells, and it can't be these two because that would create a triomino, so this is always shaded. And in fact, this is just unshaded, because if this was shaded, then that would force that to be shaded, which would also create the triomino of death. Okay, so we get that whole shading business, and now this is unshaded for Nurikabi-ish reasons. I can undo this X. This region needs a star. Very true, very true. So that's a star. So that is not a star. That's not a star. That's not a star. Yeah, we'll mark that's not a star. That's not a star. So this column needs a star, right? This column doesn't need any more stars, so that's not a star. But this column does need another star, so it goes in one of these 2 cells, so that's not a star. We broke it again. Because this region needs 2 shaded cells and it can't get them. No. Sorry, it can get them. I just have to make that a star. Right, because these are the 2 shaded cells. Got it. Okay. So that is a star. That's all the stars. Oops. I don't know if I did anything that I was supposed to do. That's all the stars for this row. Sorry, they're not. This should be gray X's. Okay. So now this domino continues over to here, which then unshades that cell. Row 5, column 2 is definitely X'd. I agree. One of these is the star now, so that's never a star. So now one of these two is a star, and that's already a star in the row. So this is never a star. Oh, and in fact, this is shaded because one of these is a star, so it's not shaded. So this one needs to be shaded no matter what. Column 6 needs a second star, and if we believe our Xing, it's that one. Which then X's the rest of this row. This is never shaded for reasons previously mentioned. Where's the second star in this row? I know one of these two is a star. So this has to be a star just for row 8, right? I don't see anywhere else I can put a star in row 8. So I think this is the other row 8 star. Which is all of them for this column, but now means that cell is shaded. So that cell is unshaded. These aren't both shaded ever because it would block out the second star. So that's always shaded. And now this can't be shaded because it would make a star, and this would be a 3-prong thing, basically. Let me try and say that in a better way because I didn't like that way. Yeah, if this is a star, maybe it looks a little better. If this is a star, then my domino does that, and now I've got a triomino. This isn't a star. I don't love it anyway, I've said it, but that's a little bit better. Wait. Oh, I argued this isn't a star, and then I proceeded to try to make it a star. This isn't a star, so it's shaded, and this is the star, is what I argued, and then did something different. So these are all unshaded. So this is not a star either. And now this is the star. Okay, is that all the stars in the grid? No, we've still got one more star in this column. Hey, Ratfinks, how are you doing? Oops. Ah! There we go. How about that? Is that all the stars? 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Yes. Okay, we have all the stars now. Okay, so now... Oh, this is unshaded. I suppose, get rid of all the X's now if I want. That's probably a good idea. Then I no longer have to think about stars. Which normally I like thinking about. But in this puzzle has been more than a little bit brain-burning because of the notation only. So now let's do a nory-nori puzzle. I have admittedly not done a lot of nory-nori puzzles. You might say I did not need to say that. This can't be shaded because if it was, that would be, but that would be a third in this shape. So this is unshaded. Okay, and likewise, this can't be shaded because if it was, it would be a third in this shape. So now the only remaining cell to shade here is this one, which shades that one, which now is 2 for this region. So that's unshaded. This can't possibly be shaded anymore. And therefore, these are both shaded for this region. And now I think we're done. Woo, that was fun. I liked that, even if it broke my brain to try and notate it. But we didn't actually break the puzzle, despite the fact that, well, we kind of lightly broke the puzzle, just a tiny bit broken. Alrighty, but very nice puzzle there, Nell. Great construction. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, we broke it, but we fixed it. I'll be back in just a moment with some 6x6s we're going to do before we transition over to watch me play Lingo badly. So be right back in just a moment. All right, welcome back. We have a Heliopolis Renbon 6x6. I'm going to try and finish this in, well, we'll see. We're going to try and end very close to 6. And I need to end a little before 6 so we can jump over to the premiere. But we will do this Heliopolis puzzle at least first. I probably, if I do finish this, I'm going to need Tristan to send me more 6x6s because none of the other 6x6s that Tristan sent me look like they could plausibly be done in the length of time that we have. So Renbon walls are 3 Renbon in one. One side of the wall is a Renbon. The other side is also a Renbon, and the whole thing is a Renbon. I see. So in this instance, I see. So in this case, it's just a dot. But in this instance, we're saying that if you take all of these, sorry, that one's not part of it, I don't think, if I read this correctly. I think it's saying all 4 of these are a Renbon. Okay, so I think this is a 2-cell Renbon. So it's definitely from 1, 2, 3, because it doesn't have a 4 or a 5 on it. So it definitely has a 2 on it, which means that one of these is a 2. If I understand correctly, what's happening here, then this is a 4-length Renbon, so it needs a 4, which means that one of those 2 digits is a 4. Oh, corners as well as edges? Oh, okay, so, sorry, it's this whole thing is a Renbon of length 6. Okay, so this is a Renbon of length 6. Sorry, the corners I missed. So, like, this is like an extra region that we can contend with. Okay, so I do know there's a 4. So I can place the 4, funnily enough, in box 5, because I know there's a 4 looking down here, and there's a 4 looking over, so this is always a 4. Because all of the digits from 1 through 6 show up once each here. I don't have to make any sort of sophisticated argument about it to say that. So these digits are from 1, 3, 6, I suppose. Yeah, it is also 2 3-cell Renbons. So one of these is 1, 2, 3, and the other is 4, 5, 6. And then these are at least 3. That one's not 4. So that one's not 3, just for what it's worth. So if this is a 4, that's a 5, 6. And if one of these is a 4, then these are 5, 6. That's a 3. These are 1, 2. So yeah. Oops. I don't know what I just did. It just reloaded. Okay, this is not 2, 3 at least. So this is also from 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's the point. I can place 2 in column 5 is the point. Because if I put a 2 on this, it would need to go with a 1 or a 3. But 2, 3 breaks that cell, and 1 breaks that cell. So now this is the only place for 2 in this column. It's possible I was more optimistic than I should have been that that was going to do something. This is also from 3, 5, 6. Right. This can't, if I think about what this can be, if it's 1 or 2, it breaks this because I would need a 3 down there. And so we've got 2, 3, 5, 6s here. And so one of these is a 3 for sure, because they can't be a 5, 6 pair, because the only way I can split this length 6 renbon into 2 length 3 renbons is a 1, 2, 3 and a 4, 5, 6. So one of these two is a 3, so that certainly is not a 3. So yeah, got a 1 over there. Yeah, I guess I can ask where 3 goes in this column, and it definitely doesn't go in yellow. But that doesn't feel that pressing as a deduction to me. 5 in this column either goes in yellow, which would rule it out of here, or it goes there exactly. That's true. Emma points out I can corner mark 3 here because I know there's a 3 in one of these two cells. In fact, since I have the yellow, I'll even corner mark it. There's a 3 in one of these. And so, therefore, that's not a 3, and those aren't 3, so the 3 looks over. So the 3 is in one of these two cells in this box. If this is a 3, then this would have to be a 2 or a 4, but I don't think I see any reason it can't be. That is true. We do get a sort of virtual region out of this because this is the two columns have every digit twice. So we, for example, know these digits aren't 4, I guess. We know the 1 in this virtual region is down in there, kind of thing. The 5 in this virtual region. There we go. It's the 5 in this virtual region maybe is useful. The 5 in this virtual region is definitely up here somewhere. Maybe that's not actually as useful as I had fantasized about it being. Because now that I'm looking at it, maybe that doesn't actually do anything. One of these two is a 5, but I don't know that that helps, unfortunately. Let's see. These can never be a 1-2 pair. That must be the point. Because if these are a 1-2 pair, then I've broken my ability to make my 1-2 3. And so if these can't be a 1-2 pair, then where do 1 and 2 go in box 4? One of them always goes there. And ergo, this is 1, 2, 3, and it's not 1 or 2, so it's a 3. There we go. That was the natural question to ask. So that is a 3 and a 6 and a 3 and a 5. These are a 1, 2, and so that is a 1 and a 2. That seems to now be a 3 by our corner marks from earlier. These are 4, 6 in some order. These are 5, 3. So one of these is a 5. That's a 2. Okay, I think that was the question I was supposed to ask. That is a 1 for the column. That's the 5 for the column. Josh was pointing out that I could say that this cell certainly wasn't a 1, 2, 3, or 5, or 6, which would have been handy. That is a 1 as well. That's a 6 and a 4 and a 6 and a 6 just by sudoku. So that's the 5 and 4 and the 5. and a 6. One of these is a 2, and it's actually that one. It's a 4. That's a 6. It's a 5. That's a 3. It's a 4, and that's a 1. Very nice. Tristan has sent me some more, so we've got plenty of time to do at least one more of these, depending on how long the one more takes. Let's see. There are lots of cute looking ones in here where I'm very unsure if they will be finishable in the amount of time. Uh, this is not necessarily one where I contend I'm sure it's finishable in the amount of time, but it at least looks the most benign. So let's see. So we've got normal rules for Sudoku and region sum lines. So I guess, okay, these are all the same digit, whatever that digit is. And these are all the same digit, whatever that digit is. And these are each at least 3. Oh, I guess these two are the same and they're another digit. Because it sees both of those. This could be the X. These two digits are different, and they're both none of these. Looking at this, I might switch to colors here for my digits, just because it looks like we might be coloring the full grid, and that's usually a little bit nicer to do with colors than with markers. Though I'm a big fan of the condiments in general. That blue looks a little bit too invisible for my taste. We're going to make it a purple instead. Yeah, this cell. If we ask, Emma says where it goes in box 4, this cell in box 4, well, by Sudoku, it doesn't go in those places. It's not green, so it doesn't go there. It doesn't repeat in its own arrow, so this digit actually goes there, meaning that that is also orange. This is now another color, because this sees all of the colors, so this can be, I suppose, red. Red in this box now has to go there because it's not orange. I did a very, very bad job of highlighting red. Okay, so one of these two is green, for what it is worth. Red goes here in row 5, because red actually sees all 3 of these. Let's see, purple in row... I keep hitting green by accident. Purple in row 4 definitely goes here. We have one digit that we have not named yet, I believe. Red in box 3, I don't think. But orange in row 3, we know where orange in row 3 goes. And now once we have orange in row 3, now we've got red in row 3. Let's see. So I know one of these is green and one of these is... Oh, I don't know that, actually. Purple in column 5 is placed there. Okay, I've got only one more purple in the entire grid left, and it's there. Red is up there somewhere. Yeah, we should go ahead and give white a color, because we've got a couple cells I think that we know are white. Do we? Maybe we don't. Maybe this is the only cell that I know is white. I know one of these is white, so I know this isn't white. So I must know what this is if I know it's not white, right? Because the white in this box is over here. So this is not white, and therefore it is a color. And it is not green, purple, orange, or red, and therefore it is yellow, which is the only color left. So this was a naked yellow, so that's yellow. And now there's only one yellow left in the grid, and it goes there. Okay, now now one of these is white, and the other one is green. Yeah, there's a red up here. I know this isn't yellow. I'm looking at my color rules that I know, which is that purple plus yellow is definitely red. And red, in fact, has something else. So this is a 5-6, because the only things you can express in two different ways are 5 and 6. This is also a 5-6 because I know this isn't the same sum either. So those are actually a 5-6 pair. Oh, it's a 5-6 pair where I know that that one is on that one. So that's the 5 and that's the 6. That's the 5. That's a 1 is what we know. Oops. Sorry. Don't know what happened there. So this is 2, 4 in some order. So yellow sees 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. So yellow is just a naked 3. Right. So these two are the same. Let's make them that color blue. And so that means 1 is something up here. It's got to be green. So these are 1s. And so, oh, this is a 2 by some sort of math thing. So we can do that. We can fill in some 5s over there. We can fill in a 4 over there, a 6, a 6, a 6. Okay, so this had better be 1, 4. And so the 1 goes there, and the 4 goes there. So I was making sure I got the I got the right color of blue. So that's also a 4. That's also a 4. I'm just trying to finish the 4 so I don't have to change to another page. That's also the 4 for my colors anymore. Okay, and so my other color in this column is red, which is 5. My other color in this row is red, which is 5. We need Grockles here to scan this for me. This is a green, which is 1. Oops. Which is 1, which is 1. Third time's the charm. This is orange, which is 6. This is orange, which is 6. And this is green, which is 1. Very nice. Very smooth there. Let's see. What do I think I can do in 10 minutes? Let's see. Let's do this arrow puzzle by Nell. Apparently we're doing 6x6s by people whose 9x9s we did today. Okay. Digits on an arrow. This seems like this could be a 10-minute puzzle. Sum to the number in the circle or oval. So this has to be a 6 and a 1, 2, 3. This is a 1, 2, 3. This is a 4, 5, 6. This is a 4, 5. And so that tells you right away that this is a 5, 1, 4. Oops, over there. Yeah, the 2-digit sum has no choice but to be 12. I agree with Emma, because it can't be 11 or 10. So this has to be 12 with a 6 and a 6. Very nice. So I suppose this does have a 1 on it, just by sudoku. Let's see. These are 4 and 6. Oh, in fact, we know the order. They're 4 and 6 in that order. So this is a 1, 3 looking over. That being a 1. So that's a 3. That is, oh, no, sorry, it's not a 6. That's not a 6 either. Sorry, these are 2 and 5 is what these are. So these are 2, 4, 5. But this can't be a 5. So, and it can't be a 2 either, because if this is a 2, it makes that a 3, which breaks that cell. So in fact, this is a 4 and a 5, making that a 2 and a 5, and a 3 and a 2, making that a 3. Oh, we've still got one more 6, I'm being told. Very nice. So we've got a 1 here. These are a 2 and a 4 in that order. So that's a 5 and a 2 and a 5 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 3 and a 4. Very nice. Very smooth little 6x6 there. Okay, so now we have the problem. Now I need a 7-minute puzzle. Will Tristan send me another batch of puzzles where I can look for a 7-minute puzzle if Tristan is listening? If Tristan is not listening, I can dig. Although every moment that goes by, it becomes a shorter puzzle. Let's see, threads. I don't think Tristan is listening to me. I'm used to it. Don't worry. Okay, we did that one. Let's see. I don't think we have done gagging walrus face yet. This looks like it potentially might be doable. Oh, no, this is a sumdoku. Never mind. We're not doing a sumdoku in 7 minutes. 5 minutes now. Let's see. Okay, we've done that one. We haven't done this non-consecutive killer by Polando. Okay, so this is a killer plus non-consecutive. It sounds like if there's a 5-minute puzzle in the world, it's probably going to be this one. 7 can only be 1, 2, 4, but I can't put the 1 or the 2 in the middle. It has to play whatever the thing is that the British people always say, because they're too polite to say the other phrase that ends with blocking. So that has to be a 4 with a 1, 2 on the outside and with a 3, 5, 6 over here. But this can't be the 3 because that would put a 5 and a 6 next to each other. So that is somewhat handy. Okay, what are my 13 cages? I don't have my killer calculator on. Advanced killer calculator on. There we go. My 3-cell 13 cages, I guess, always have a 6 in them, is the thing to know in the meta. So there's always a 6 there, and do they ever have a 1? They never have a 1 either, so there's definitely a 1 down here. And so therefore there's a 2 in the 13 cage, because the column needs a 2. And so therefore this is 2, 5, 6, which has manifold consequences, such as that being a 3. And also such as the fact that the 2 has to play, I keep wanting to say play footsie, but that's not the right phrase, with the 5 and the 6 to keep them apart. And so these are a 1 and a 4. These are now a 1, 2, and a 4. And this one is the 4 because it's next to a 1, 2. The two 1, 2s can't go next to each other. So that's a 4. We know one of these is a 3. One of them is a 5, 6. And one of them is a 1, 2. For what it is worth. Let's see. Let's see, this is 2, 5, 6. Definitely has a 6. I was hoping to be able to use the fact that if it was the 1, it would have a 2 in the middle, but I can't. 1 second, I'm going to sneeze. I think I successfully sneezed. I'm unmuted now, right? Okay, good. This cage doesn't have a 4 in it. That's a good point. Because there's a 1-4 pair in this box, and 4 looks down at that. So therefore, this is 2, 5, 6, which means the 2 does go in the middle. These are a 5, 6 pair. And that sorts out that that's a 1 and a 2 and a 2. So now this column has a 5, 6 in it that need to be kept apart, and a 3. And so now there's a 1 in this box, which can't go next to the 2. There's a 4 here, which can't go next to a 5. 5, 6. This is a very nice puzzle for a non-consecutive. Non-consecutives are just a nightmare to set because basically you throw in a couple clues and it's unique, but it's not humanable, is the classic problem of the genre. There's a 1 and a 3 in this row, and I don't think I know anything about the order. These are a 2, 4, 6. It's not a 4, not a 2, not a 6. Okay, so these are 1, 3, 5, and that's not a 5 for multiple reasons. This is a 2, 4, 6. That's not a 4, that's not a 2, that's not a 6. I guess that is nice because now I know that this is a 1 or a 3 and it's not a 3. So it's a 1 and a 3 in that order. Also, I guess I know that 6 plus 5 is 11. So now that's a 4 and that's a 2 for multiple reasons involving non-consecutiveness. 6, 2. And that is a 3 and that is a 5. That was lovely for a non-consecutive, and also for the doing it in about 5 minutes. Okay, can Tristan explain to people how to do the thing? Because we're going to go do a premiere of the Lingo series that I've been promising for a bit. But Tristan is going to corral people over to that. I might have to go shout at him. 1 second. Tristan, can you put directions in chat for how to do the thing? Thank you. Like the stream. Yes, do please like the stream. Oh, you don't have to do anything, Tristan says. That is an easy instruction. So we can just hang out here until then, I suppose. So we can chat about life. Anyone seen any good TV shows lately? Anyone have strong feelings about the current season of Survivor? Let's see. I see. I should end the stream and then we'll chat in the new chat. Okay, I will end the stream and then we'll chat in the new chat. So I will see you all soon, hopefully, over in Lingoland. So see you all in just a moment. So I'm going to click the end broadcast button now, I think.